Hello, everybody. Wayne Motts from the National Civil War Museum with my good friend Tracy Baer, licensed battlefield guide at Gettysburg and historian over here in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And we're here for an episode of Black Courage, Pennsylvanians in the 54th Massachusetts. We're west of Gettysburg and Chambersburg at Lebanon Cemetery, also known as Mount Vernon. And Tracy, what do we know? This is a very historic Black cemetery, isn't it? What do we know about
it? It is. This cemetery was created sometime prior to 1851, and we are very near Route 30, which was the east-west Pittsburgh-Philadelphia post road. Okay. So the Confederates would use this a couple of times when they entered Chambersburg. But this is then created. This is an active cemetery as the Confederates are out there. Wow. We do have 52 of the 108 known Black Civil War enlistments from Franklin County. 52 of them interred here in Mount Vernon.
So for the viewers, Chambersburg is the county seat of Franklin County, that's Pennsylvania.
Right.
So you're saying half of the enlistments for Black soldiers in this county are buried in this cemetery.
Nearly half of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And represented here are 28 different regiments.
Holy cow.
Plus a sailor.
Okay.
And of them, we have 4 of the 54th Massachusetts and 2 from its sister regiment, the 55th.
And we should tell the viewers that a lot of times you'll hear the Black soldiers in the Civil War referred to as serving in the USCT, United States Colored Troop. That's the official U.S. government designation after the Emancipation Proclamation. The 54th and 55th Massachusetts were kept separate. They never did get a USCT identity. So you can hear, or you can understand when you hear that term, that the 54th is a separate unit. Governor Andrew kept them separate. And so, Tracy, we're at the grave of one of these men from Company D of the 54th Massachusetts, John Plowden. What do we know about John Plowden?
John Plowden was born, well, we're not sure. There's a lot of ambiguity with a lot of these soldiers, and we're not entirely sure when he was born. 1836, 1837. Records aren't really clear with that.
Right.
But we do know he did enlist in April of 1863 into the 54th Massachusetts.
And he's shown in the census record. I noticed in 1850 his father's listed as Dennis Plowden, as a paper maker, I think it says, in Guilford Township, which is nearby here. And then in 1860 he's listed as, what was his occupation?
He was initially a hostler.
A hostler. Okay, for our viewers, what is that?
That's someone who takes care of horses. Typically, you have someone that comes and stays at a hotel or an inn in a community. Yeah. And a hostler would take care of their horse or horses while they are in town.
So at the time of enlistment, the 1860 census, he's listed as that. Then in 1870, when he comes back from the war, he's listed as a brickmaker. Working in a brickyard. And this man was wounded at Fort Wagner, according to the records, right?
Right. He was wounded in the leg during that assault, that evening assault that the 54th Massachusetts would lead up the coast. And most of those wounded, most of those casualties occur in the few hundred yards leading up to those sand parapets. It wasn't necessarily climbing the top. So they were open range for several minutes as they are approaching that. And we know John Plowden did fall. He is going to be taken to Beaufort, where he's going to have his leg amputated. But he will serve there also in Beaufort as a hospital steward. So he is caring for wounded men there as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I noticed that in his record, too, it talked about he actually had an injury from a handbar with a heavy artillery, too. He had like multiple issues during his career. And unfortunately, it appears that he dies, if I have this right, July 22nd, 1871, and he dies of pneumonia. And it lists like bronchitis. I know in his service records he has bronchitis as well. So it looks like he had lung problems. And he dies an extremely young person.
Right.
And his wife writes, when she's writing for his pension record, that she had 2 young children, 4 and 2, that died like within 4 months of his death. So tragic, just tragic. Yeah. And you don't understand the conditions that some of these people have to deal with, long after their Civil War service from their wound.
Right.
So John Plowden, Company D, 54th Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry Regiment, Wayne Motts with Tracy Baer, and I want to thank you again, Tracy, for coming out. I want to thank all of you for this episode, watching and staying tuned to Black Courage, Pennsylvanians in the 54th Mass. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay with us on the social media channels. So thanks.